You know, this can be uh this can be this can be this can be a little challenging, right? Yeah, this can really be a little challenging, because a little challenging in the sense that, oh, so it's 150 is 1% of 30. So the normal thing is when we say 30 is 1% of 150. So this one is also correct. So the answer is 500%. Let's move on now. Of the 50 researchers in a work group, 40% will be assigned to team A and the remaining 60% to team B. 70% of the researchers prefer team A and 30% prefer team B. What is the lowest possible number of researchers who will not be assigned to the team they prefer? And so we have assigned, we have preferred. So we have assigned, we have prefer. We have A, we have B. Assigned, A is 40% of 50. 40% of 50 is 20. B is 30. Preferred, 70% of 50 is 35. 70% 30% of 50 is 15. But notice that 20 plus 30 is 50, and 35 plus 15 is also 50. So what we are looking for is the mismatch. 35 minus 20, which is 15. If n is a prime number, oh, we are still very far, number 10. If n is the prime number greater than 3, what is the remainder when n squared is divided by 12? What is one prime number greater than 3?
5.
Another one? Let's use 7. We use 5 in the afternoon. 7, then 7 squared divided by 12. That is 48 divided by 12. No, 7 squared is 49, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is 4 whole number, remainder 1. So it is remainder 1. Lucy invested 10,000 in a new mutual fund account exactly 3 years ago. The value of the account increased by 10% during the first year, increased by 5% during the second year, and decreased by 10% during the third year. Lucy 10,000 increased by 10%, that is times 1.1, increased by 5%, that is times 1.05, decreased by 10%, that is times what? Decreased by 0.9, thank you. And this is 10,395. So the answer is B. You also see another question that makes use of proportion. 11 seconds is proportional to Y. Z seconds, let's say, is what we are looking for, is proportional to S. We cross multiply as usual. 11S equals YZ, but we are looking for Z. So 11S over Y equals Z. The corresponding option is A, 11S over Y. What is the lowest positive integer that is divided by each of the integers 1 through 7? Since you have your calculator, you just pick up 420 divided by 1, 420 divided by 2, 420 divided by 3. Try it now. You will notice that all of them can divide 420, and 420 is already the lowest, so we select it. Car S averages 25 miles per gallon of gasoline, and car Y averages 11.9 miles per gallon. If each car is driven 12 miles, approximately how many more miles of gasoline will car Y use than can S? Each of them is 12,000 divided by the by the lower number so that we get higher value, but which we can approximate this to 12. Remember that the answer we should have gotten here then should be a bit higher. Minus the same 12,000. If we divide by 12 instead of 25, remember the answer we should have gotten should have been a bit lower instead of higher. But right now, this is 1,000, which supposed to have been higher, and this is 500, which supposed to have been lower because we wanted to divide by, we're supposed to have divided by 25. But right now we have 5,000. That means we are going to look for answer. Instead of going for 480, we are going for 520 because the answer should have been higher. You can also use your calculator to work it out. You will get a number that is very close to 520. So if we start asking questions now, do you know that what we are doing is timed? Are you aware? A music club offers CDs at the following prices. First CDs at 15.95, each additional CD at 3.99. If a member buys 6 CDs, the total cost is equivalent to which of the following? Okay, so the person that wanted to ask question, what do you understand by this question? What can you understand so far? This particular question number 15. No, I'm not asking you to ask question. I'm asking my own question. What do you understand? Question 15. What can you pick? And not the answer. What do you understand already? Okay, don't worry. Let me ask you more question, more direct question. So the first seed is how much? 15.95. The remaining 5 CDs. Don't approximate it. So that's the problem with this question. If you approximate it, the answer is gone. 3.99. The first one is 3.99 times 5 is what? Use calculator, nothing like just use calculator. 3.99 times 5. .95. 19.95. 19.95 plus 15.95. That's 35.9. 35.9. We are only to look for an option that that corresponds to 35.9. The first one here is 4 times 5, which is 20. Can you find 20 plus 15.9? 20 plus 15.9. 5.9. So that is already the option we are looking for. If you take the next option, you will see that it will be 20 plus 15.95, which is 35.95. The next one is 20 plus 16, which is 36. So no other option will give us this correct one. So we select it. In a store, the revenue in November is 2/5 of the revenue in December, and the revenue in January is 1/4 the revenue in November. The revenue in December is how many times the average of the revenues in November and in January? You will notice that in this question we have a lot of numbers. That is the common thing here is November. So let's take that as the common thing. So we start this way by saying December, the revenue in November November is 2 over 5 of December. If you work it back, 5 times n, so 5n equals 2d. You know, this is C cross multiply. So d is 5 over 2n. Then let us work out January. The revenue in January, J is 1 over 4n. If you work this out, 1 over 4, that becomes 0.25n. Because 1 over 5 is 0.25. The next one is we find the average of January and November, which is J plus n divided by 2. For J now is 0.25. 0.25 plus n divided by 2. Oh, that's the mistake there. Let me correct it. Okay, the mistake is that we need to put n here plus n. Remember that if we take n aside, we have 0.25. 0.25 plus 1. Okay, then divided by 2. 0.25 plus 1 is 1.25. 1.25 divided by 2 is what? 1.25 divided by 2. 1.25 divided by 2. Let's be fast. The time is going. Is reading. 1.25 divided by 2. 0.625. 625n. Okay, that is the average. So what the question is asking is December over n plus j over 2, which is, if you remember December, we have worked it out before. December is 5 over 2n. 5 over 2n is the same thing as 2.5n over 0.625n. And we cancel n. Can you confirm that 2.5 divided by 0.625 is 4? Can you confirm that? Okay, Company P had 15% more employees in December than it had in January. If Company P had 460 December in December, how many employees did it have in January? We have already used this concept before. Remember, he's saying 1.1 increase January by 15%. We have December. 1.15 J equals 460. 460 divided by 1.15. Can you confirm that is 400 on your own end? You are not confirming. All right. Car A is 20 miles behind car B, which is traveling in the same direction along the same route as car A. Car A is traveling at constant speed of 58 miles per hour, and car B is traveling at a constant speed of 50 miles per hour. How many hours will it take for car A to overtake and drive 8 miles ahead of car B? So there are several different ways of solving this question, but let's use relative speed. Yeah, the time here is the relative speed. Sorry, time is distance over speed. Time is distance over speed. But the type of speed we are talking about here is the relative speed. The distance, it needs to cover two sets of distance. It needs to cover two sets of distance, right? It needs to cover two sets of distance. It needs to cover that particular distance of where it is lagging, which is 20. Then another distance 8, which is now greater than the other one. But the relative speed is 58 minus 50. So we kind of have 28 divided by 8. Please, can you work out 28 divided by 8? Can you confirm it's 3.5? I don't know why you are wasting time. If P is a product of the integers from 1 to 30 inclusive, what is the greatest integer K for which 3K is a factor of P? Now, one way of solving this question is to say, 1 1 times, what is 1 times 2 times 3 down to 30. So you take up 30. Since we are looking for 3 raised to the power K divided by 3 raised to the power 1. If we do that, we are going to get 10. Then 30 divided by 3 raised to the power 2, which is 30 divided by 9, is going to be 30 divided by 9 is what? That is 3 whole number, remainder 3. Then 30 divided by 3 raised to the power 3 is 1 whole number, remainder 3. But if we add all this together, 10 plus 3 plus 1, it gives us 14. So we select 14. Paula and Sandy were among those people who sold raffle tickets to raise money for Club S. Together, Paula and Sandy sold a total of 100 of the tickets. If Sandy sold two-thirds as many of the raffle tickets as Paula did, how many of the tickets did Paula sell? Let's set this up. So it says Paula and Sandy, if Sandy sold voila, Sandy ticket is two-thirds of Paula, and we have 100. To get rid of 3, we multiply through by 3. If we multiply through by 3, we have 3p plus 2p equals 300. 5p equals 300. If 5p equals 300, what is p? What is p? The hypotenuse of a right triangle is 10 cm and its area is 25 cm. What is the perimeter of the triangle in centimeter? We can start by drawing it, representing the information like this. And it says this place is 10. This is a right angle triangle. Here is S and Y. So we do know that S squared plus Y squared equals 10 squared. Then finally, we are also told that half SY equals 25, of which SY equals 50. Then we can solve simultaneously, of which we can say S equals 50 over Y. Anywhere we see S, we put 50 over Y. So we can say 50 over Y all squared plus Y all squared equals 10 squared. Now this is 50 squared is 25, 2500, 25 then 00. Y squared plus Y squared equals 10 squared. The same way we multiply through by 3 to get rid of the fraction. Here too, we are going to multiply through by Y squared. If we multiply through by Y squared, here is now remaining 2500 plus Y raised to the power 4 equals Y squared times 10 raised to the power 10 squared. How to solve this mass, this exponent? One thing we can do is to say let's n equals Y squared. If you let n equals Y squared, so that we now have 2500 plus n squared equals y squared, remember, is n. N times 10 is 10n, better written as 10n. Let's make this a full-blown quadratic equation. N squared minus 10n plus 2500 equals 0. What can we multiply to get 2500? I think we have missed something. Something supposed to be, this 10 supposed to be. Is that correct? Okay, it's 10 squared. Okay, this one is 10 squared. And 10 squared is 100. Okay, 100n. One thing, what we can multiply to get 2500 and add it to get minus 100n is what? Is what? Are you here? What can we multiply to get 50 and 50? Minus 50 and minus 50. So remember, we open a bracket. How we normally solve this? We open bracket and say n minus 50. And we open another bracket and say n minus 50 equals 0. So both of them are just the same thing. Remember, in our secondary school, we have said that this is n equals 50 twice. So the most important thing here is that n is 50, right? N is 50. So we have gotten n as 50. But we know that y squared equals n equals 50. So y is the square root of 50. Y is the square root of 50. Then we can go back. Y is the square root of 50. We can now go back and find s. Remember that half sy equals what? Equals 25. Remember where we got the half sy from? We got it from area of a triangle equals half base times height. Okay. Now sy equals 2 times 25, 50. But y is the square root of 50. So s is y that we have here, right? So s equals 50 over the square root of 50. When we resolve this, we are going to have 50 times the square root of 50 over the square root of 50 times the square root of 50. This particular process is also called rationalization. So we are going to have 50 times the square root of 50 over square root of 50 square root of 50. So we take 1. So this we cancel this. It means that s is also the square root of 50 and y is the square root of 50. Now perimeter equals the square root of 50 plus the square root of 50 plus 10, because 10 is the hypotenuse. If we have the square root of 50 and the square root of 50, what do we do? The square root of 50 plus the square root of 50, that is 2 times the square root of 50 plus 10. We still need to reduce the square root of 50 itself. 2 times root 25 times root 2 plus 10. The square root of 25 is 5. So this is 2 times 5 root 2 plus 10. So this is 10 root 2 plus 10. And it corresponds to option B. Of the 60 cars sold last month by a certain dealer, 20 had stereo but not power window. 30 had both power window and the stereo. And 4 had power windows but not a stereo. How many of the 60 cars had neither power window nor stereo? But how do you want us to solve this? Venn diagram, right? So we are on 22 of 23. So this can give us idea of what is going on. How do we fill this now? Any idea? Hello, class members. How many minutes do we have? Oh, we have time. Okay, we have 2 more questions, so you can contribute. You can contribute now. You don't know what is Venn diagram? Uh-huh. Okay, or so you can. Yeah, that's no problem. So what can you remember then? Yes, that is a universal state. So of the 60 cars sold last month, of what they sold, the universal here is 60. So you see that what you can say is connecting little by little. So what you know is connecting. What is the universal state? Have not still changed, right? So everything, we are going to subtract everything. Normally, we are going to subtract everything. We are going to subtract everything for 60. If you add everything, right? If you add everything, it is going to give you 60 back. So if you add everything, it's going to give you it will have given you 60 back. And remember, as mean, let's say, do we have S? This is what it will have been. Stereo and power window. That means S minus S, and power window P minus S. Okay, and this is the place we should have N. When we add everything here together, it's going to give us 60. Right. Now see, of the 60 cars sold last month by a certain dealer, 20 has zero, but not power window. Right? That is, will I put the 20 here, 0 here, and 30 had both power window, and so we wouldn't gonna put 30 here. Okay, and 4 had power windows, but so here is going to be 4. Right? It will have been the addition of all these things, including N, is what will have given us 60. It also means that if we subtract all this from 60, it also give us N. So 60 minus, when you are solving this type of thing, always put it in brackets, since you are going to subtract all this from 60. If you don't want to put it in brackets, you will have put minus, but learn to use brackets. Okay, but that one is more intuitive. So 60 minus 20 minus 30 minus 4 equals what? This is already 60 minus 50, which is 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. That's 6. Then the final one. A report consisting of 2,600 words is divided into 230 paragraphs. Okay? Is divided into 23 paragraphs. A 2-paragraph preface is then added to the report. Remember, a 2-paragraph preface, that is now like 25 paragraphs. If each paragraph of the preface contains exactly 145 words, what is the average number of words per paragraph for 25 paragraphs? I think it's a pretty straightforward, is that not? Because each of them are the same, right? Each of them have, let's say, addition. The addition is 145 times 2. Let's be fast with this. 145 times 2. 290. So that is the addition. Okay, 290 plus 290 words plus 2,600 words is what? Or let's just put it here. Let's just put it. Average equals 290 plus 2,600 over the total now. Remember, it was 23 paragraphs plus 2 more paragraphs. That is divided by 25. 290 plus 2,600 is what? Your calculator is not there. What if I'm waiting for you now and the time is gone? I don't know how you are seeing this exam. The exam is not waiting for you, right? I don't even know who is setting the exam. It's not waiting for you. You have to level up your mindset, your energy level to match to the date of the exam, not even to the person that is teaching you. 290 is what? Is what now? One. Is it network that is causing this? 0.6. Okay. All right. They say we can submit now. So we have finished in calculated time. So we have about 2 minutes more. You see that any little delay means we'll have not been able to. So at least let's scroll. I'm scrolling slowly, checking. You see that we didn't select an answer here. 500%. All right, this is kind of a benefit of having opportunity of going through your work. So no other one. I think we have the rest. Okay, so I can submit now. So I've submitted. Oh, we kind of get everything. All right, so thank you for joining. I will try and make this available. If the video did not record properly, it means if there was interferences from the Google Meet, then I will try to do the recording again.